This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
We begin with breaking news as the FBI in Denver is confirming the human remains found earlier this week are indeed those of Brian Laundrie. Laundrie went missing last month, a few days before authorities in Wyoming found the remains of his fiancée, Gabby Petito, whose death was ruled a homicide by manual strangulation. Investigators also found a backpack and a notebook belonging to the 23-year-old Laundrie near the remains while they were searching the Carlton Reserve in Northport, Florida. The FBI said dental records confirmed the identification of the remains of Laundrie. On to the weather now, which continues to include temps 30 degrees or so lower than they were on Monday. And the words hard freeze are again part of Hutch Johnson's forecast. Hutch?
Mike, thanks so much, and good evening, everyone. It was a chilly start to our day, and here's a few in-between gauge sites brought to us by our friends at the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network. They have some instruments positioned across the area. How about low 20s from Wales, North Dakota through Roseau, Minnesota? It was a chilly start in Mayville as well at 22 degrees. Ulen at that same reading. Here's some numbers that we saw first thing this morning elsewhere. Mid-20s from Crookston through Fargo and out towards Jamestown. Carrington, a chilly 23. That indeed is a hard freeze. By definition, if the temperatures are below freezing for 3 hours and well below freezing in those upper 20s, then we have a hard freeze. So that'll end the growing season. Right now we have low and mid 40s across the region under sunny skies. We have quiet weather here. A few sprinkles showing up, but not necessarily making their way down to the ground out west. High clouds in our area. Temperatures that will be dipping through the 30s fairly quickly tonight under these high clouds with light winds. It's going to be a chilly one out there. We're once again, for many areas, on our way to the 20s. I'll have hour-by-hour details on what you can expect in your backyard. Frost is a good bet for many of us, but how long is this cold air going to stick around? We'll address that as well here in just a few moments. And I think we have a visitor, a weather kid. It's Weather Kid night.
Look forward to that. Thanks, Hutch. The wife of fallen Grand Forks police officer Cody Holte is breaking her silence for the first time since her husband was shot and killed in the line of duty in May of 2020. We hope you can join us for Valley News Live at 10 tonight. Hear how she and the couple's young son are staying strong and how she wants the community to remember Cody. It's a story you'll only see here on Valley News Live. A longtime Fergus Falls general surgeon is no longer at Lake Region Healthcare. It comes 2 weeks after Dr. Jeffrey Horak made comments at a school board meeting for Fergus Falls Public Schools. Horak spoke against the 10-day mask mandate the district implemented earlier this month. While there's no answer as to why Dr. Horak is no longer employed at the facility, the hospital did release this statement. We sincerely appreciate Dr. Horak's 16 years of service to our patients and our organizations. We wish the best as he transitions his practices from here. We now know what caused the fire at an apartment building in Wadena, Minnesota yesterday. Fire officials say the cigarette container was left unattended. Investigators say the landlord tried to put the flames out with an extinguisher, but it spread and became hard to manage. No one was injured, but 7 apartment units are considered inhabitable due to the smoke damage. 2 other units suffered minor water damage and had its power disconnected. Several nearby businesses had smoke and water damage. A benefit account is set up to help those impacted by yesterday's fire. You can find information to donate on our website. Go to valleynewslive.com. Investigators say the North Dakota Highway Patrol saw a Peterbilt truck and livestock trailer tip over when the driver swerved to avoid a deer. The vehicle left the roadway on North Dakota Highway 1 and entered the ditch. The driver, 51-year-old Chad Wood of Dow City, Iowa, was not hurt. Several pigs did not survive. Former Minneapolis police officer Mohammed Noor was resentenced today for his role in the 2017 shooting death of Justine Ruszczyk while responding to a 911 call, a call that she actually made. The judge sentenced him to 57 months in prison, which is the top of allowable range for sentencing for a second-degree manslaughter charge. Noor was convicted and sentenced in 2019 to 12.5 years in prison after being found guilty of both third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. Noor has already served 29 months in prison. Students from the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University in Minnesota staged a walkout this afternoon. It came after it was just revealed that the two schools were investigating allegations that some male students started a competition to tally sexual encounters with female students. A spokesperson for the schools wouldn't provide details, but said that they've been investigating since they learned about the allegations in late September. Despite a decline in COVID-19 cases across the country, cases continue to rise in North Dakota. Sanford's infectious diseases physician says it's mostly unvaccinated people filling hospital beds in recent weeks. He believes a few things factor into the rise in COVID cases, including people heading back inside as the cold weather sets in.
Gathering indoors for social events and work, and all our classrooms are open, be it the schools or the colleges, and all our businesses and social events are open. And our vaccination rates, unfortunately, are a little lower than what we were hoping for. So all this is creating a perfect storm for the cases to rise, continue to rise up.
And the doctor adds, if you have had the vaccine, you are 17 times less likely of being hospitalized or dying from COVID-19. If you're still sitting on the fence, he suggests having a discussion with your primary doctor. Members of Minnesota's teachers union are calling on school leaders to do more to protect students and staff after the State Department of Health reported the first student death from COVID-19 this school year. Health officials said the student and 2 staff members died last week. That increased the total number of school fatalities since the start of the pandemic to 2 students and 13 school employees. That includes 5 workers this year alone. Court documents say nearly 200 Minnesota healthcare workers voluntarily withdrew their federal lawsuits over vaccine mandates. The plaintiffs included people with religious objections to the vaccine and those who say their previous COVID infections make them immune. The lawsuit filed last month contended that the lack of alternatives to vaccines infringe upon the rights of these employees. People who got Moderna and Johnson & Johnson vaccines could get a booster shot in a matter of days. A panel of experts for the CDC is about to vote on whether to approve those vaccine boosters. They'll also consider whether to allow mix and match boosters.
CDC's recommendations will not just address who should receive a booster dose, but also include what vaccine they should receive, how, and when.
Yesterday, the FDA authorized extra doses of the Moderna boosters for seniors and high-risk individuals 6 months after the second shot. For Johnson & Johnson recipients, boosters for all adults 2 months after the first dose. Meanwhile, a booster dose of Pfizer vaccine has been found to be highly effective against the deadly coronavirus. Today, Pfizer says in a phase 3 trial, it found the dose to be almost 96% effective. The company conducted the trial during a time when the highly contagious Delta variant was prevalent. The trial included more than 10,000 fully vaccinated people. Onions are the cause of a salmonella outbreak in 37 states. The CDC says more than 600 people have gotten sick, including 23 in Minnesota and 4 people in North Dakota. The CDC also says more than 100 people have been hospitalized, but no deaths have been reported. The culprits are the whole red, white, and yellow onions imported from Chihuahua, Mexico, and distributed in the U.S. by ProSource. The FDA says the import dates for the onions are from July 1st to August 27th. Coming up after the weather, the NDSU Marching Band reaches out to one of its biggest fans.
Check out this morning's temperatures as we began the day with blue skies, some cirrus clouds drifting overhead. It was a cold one indeed, with frosty conditions across the valley. Hey, we do have more cold weather to talk about for your Friday morning forecast. We'll talk about how long that weather that is cold lasts and sticks around. Your forecast is next.